Okay, so let's finish off proving the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. So last time we got this set up, and you had everything you needed to try to prove it. So hopefully some of you tried to do that. Let me give you the summary of how it should go. So I want to make a statement about the standard deviation squared between these two, what we'll call observables, for now just Hermitian operators, A and B. And what we argued last time was we're going to consider these to be centered operators, meaning that they have an average of 0. So if I compute the standard deviation from the formula, it's going to be the operator itself minus the average quantity squared. But we set the average to be 0 without loss of generality, just to make our lives a little bit easier. So this is going to be equal to the average value of the operator A squared times the average value of the operator B squared. The next ingredient you need is the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. And I will remind you of this over here. The Cauchy-Schwarz inequality says that the overlap between vectors v and w, magnitude squared, is less than or equal to the inner product between v with v and w with w. So remember, this is the average value with respect to a state psi, a wave function psi. And what we're going to do to apply this inequality is set the vector v to be equal to a times the state psi, and set the vector w to be equal to b times the state psi. And when you do this and substitute in this inequality, you should see that this is equal to, or greater than or equal to, rather, the magnitude of the average of a times b squared. So this is just our application of the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. Mathematically, just a true thing, or rather, in some ways, a rather simple statement. But physically, it's going to lead to this very surprising uncertainty principle. Now, once we have the inequality, the last thing that we're going to use is our expression for the average of AB, which we did last time, and that we just showed algebraically. This is where we set the 1 equal to x plus iy, and then we looked at the commutator and the anti-commutator, and we found the following relationship. We found that this could be written as exactly equal to the average of the commutator a and b squared plus the average of the anti-commutator a, b squared all over 4. So this is just an algebraic statement. It's very easy to prove, and we did this last time, or I at least wrote it down for you. I would encourage you to prove it for yourself. Now, this is very close to the uncertainty principle as we stated it last time. The uncertainty principle, as Heisenberg stated it, was just in terms of the commutator. Here we have the anti-commutator. There are certain uncertainty statements that do involve the anti-commutator. So in a sense, we could leave it here and be done. This is already an interesting statement. But as the way the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is usually stated, it's only in terms of the commutator. So all I'm going to do, as the textbook does, this is again box 2.4 in the textbook, this is going to be a non-negative term. So I can, right, it's a size of something squared. So the smallest it can be is 0. It's never going to be negative. So I can drop this and just write this as greater than or equal to, and just involve the commutator. So that would be the average value of the commutator, AB squared over 4. And if you take the square roots of both sides, you arrive at the Heisenberg uncertainty principle.